Memphis is one of the groups that signed that letter. President and CEO Mauricio Calvo joins us now. Mauricio, always glad to have you back.
Thanks.
On 3 at 3. Let's talk about the No Kings protest. Let's talk about the way things ended. Your thoughts?
Yeah, I think it was unnecessary. I mean, this was a peaceful protest. Look, I think police is there to de-escalate situations. I understand that marchers were on the street. However, Alex, this didn't present a danger to anybody. The march was about to be over. I think this is really going to backfire. The people in Memphis are tired of what they are seeing with the federal government. This could have concluded in a different way. I think it was completely unnecessary.
What would satisfy you when it comes to accountability from the city of Memphis, from the Memphis Police Department regarding this?
Police officers are here to serve and protect, and it doesn't look like they were protecting anybody. Like there was no imminent danger. What we have seen on the video is just it seems like excessive force that is again unnecessary. I mean, they are coming and attacking with these chemical agents where nobody was attacking them, nobody seemed to be in danger. So what we would like to see is an explanation, and for the mayor and the police chief to explain is this is how they're trying to build relationships with a city that already feels so much under attack from the task force, ICE, and other law enforcement agencies.
I know some have questioned whether or not some of the demonstrators actually had the proper permit to be there, especially for a march or anything like that. Is that a valid concern there?
I mean, it is a valid concern, right? But then again, is the enforcement kind of, it's almost like if I say, well, I was driving with my light broken, therefore I should get arrested, or therefore you could use force on me. Maybe they should have asked to be moved. Maybe, I don't know. It just feels like it escalated too quickly. Yeah, if the permit was not properly pulled, I think there could have been a better way to handle that.
Mauricio, you brought up something earlier, Memphis Safe Task Force. We know they've been here more than 6, almost 7 months now, if not a little bit more. We know a number of arrests involving immigrants here in Memphis and Shelby County. What are you hearing from people today that you want folks in Memphis and Shelby County to know about, and the Mid-South?
What we're asking is for people to have access to due process and respect for human dignity. We are a country of laws. I understand that our immigration law system is broken. However, the way ICE has been acting, in the past year and a half, it's crazy, right? I mean, people, once again, similar to the issue with the protest, if somebody has not gone by the letter of the law, there should be remedies. There should be a better way to do this. What we're doing right now is we are separating families, traumatizing community. And let me tell you something that I think is fascinating.
What's that?
The city of Memphis is shrinking. We heard Mayor Young and the city council talked a little bit about how they're getting really concerned about one day we're just not going to have enough tax revenue to sustain the city. And you can see like the population is just not growing. Asians and Latinos are the only 2 groups that are actually growing in our city. And what we're doing by doing this is we are kicking people out. People are calling our office. We know people are leaving the city. More people are leaving the city than ever before.
So are you saying, Mauricio, if we don't see it as a city right now, the effects will be there very shortly?
Absolutely. I mean, again, these are the only 2 groups that have shown consistent growth, double-digit growth, every year in the last 10 years. Every other group is either not growing or decreasing in size. If Memphis is going to survive, it's going to take everybody to thrive.
I do want to get your thoughts on President Trump, of course, was in Memphis, Tennessee about a week or so ago.
Right.
How did that play out in your estimation? Did you hear anything, on the pro side, on the con side, that you did like or didn't like? Your thoughts?
So I was not invited, obviously, but
you were not. Okay.
So again, of course, the task force did play a role in some of the crime issue that we have seen, right? But that is really not the way we solve crime. What we have to do is we have to have real investments in city. For a city to thrive, it's going to need people. It's going to need good education. It's going to need investments. You cannot just police your way out of these things, right? And I think even the mayor has separated himself from the fact that we keep giving credit to the task force where they probably play a small role, I mean some kind of role, but the majority of the credit is the work that has been happening in the last few years to decrease crime. We're not there yet, right? But I feel like actually the task force is putting a label on Memphis that is a dangerous city and nobody wants to come here.
One last thing I have to get your thoughts on. The Memphis Shelby County Schools audit.
Right.
We are learning just this afternoon that audit, the results will be released possibly as early as Wednesday morning, 9 o'clock in Nashville. What do you think we might find there? How serious, how concerned are you about this?
You know, we have seen over the years, right? This is a $2 billion investment in our city every single year. The biggest, and I would argue, probably perhaps the most important investment that we are making. You know, I when I was on the board as an appointed member, you know, I saw a lot of people intended to do the right thing. It's just too big of a system. We do need to do something about it to just make sure that oversight is happening, that we have the systems in place, that that we are accountable to taxpayers, and most importantly to students. So we'll see what happens. I haven't seen a briefing. I don't know what is going to come out, but I'm sure they're going to find something. And based on that, then we need to react and have a good game plan to address those.
Do you think the alleged mismanagement could be really over the top? Do you think arrest could be made? Could it be something that severe?
I sincerely hope not. I hope that it's more about oversight and sloppiness and just bureaucracy rather than fraud. That's what I think, and that's what I hope.
Does the district need to be taken over by the state?
Well, something needs to happen. You know, I haven't seen the final bill or what the state takeover will happen. If we continue to do the same thing and expecting different results, we know how that's going to go. Something needs to happen. It's hard for me to say yes, state takeover, because that could mean a lot of different ways. Let's see what the audit says. Let's see what the final bill from Senator Taylor and Representative White say, and then I can comment on that.
Mauricio Cavill, we got to have you back.
Yeah, absolutely.
We'll
Anytime.
do this again, my
Sure.
friend.
Thank you, Alex.
Always good to see you. Thank you.